This is a demonstration of the IT help desk use case, where the technologies involved are UiPath for its hyperautomation capabilities, Druid for its conversational AI, and the system that we're going to be connecting in this case to is ServiceNow. The chatbot can be deployed on multiple different channels at the same time. So for example, we could have had this chatbot deployed on Teams as well as the company's intranet. And in this case, it's on its own custom landing page. To start off the demo, I authenticate who I am by typing in my name, Ricky Ponting, and my date of birth. And a process is kicked off to validate that I am indeed a current employee, where I need to enter in a one-time password that I received by email. Once I'm authenticated, I can see the guided menu where I can enter on request. And I can select to have one of the options that have been configured, in this case an RSA token. I'll enter in a short description which will also be added into the ticket. And a process is kicked off to create the ticket and present to me the number, SR48. I can go back to the guided menu and I will search for SR48. So in this case, it's a query. I'm going to search the ticket. In this case, I do have the ticket number to hand, so I'm going to say yes. I'll enter in SR48. It's using a UiPath process to validate the ticket entry, and it's coming back with the status, and indeed it was successfully created. Going back into the menu, I can also search for a ticket if I don't have the ticket number to hand. I'll select no, and it will search for all of my open tickets in the system. So I can see here that I have a few open, and indeed I can see SR48 is still present. Going back to the guided menu, there are some other options that we've also configured. So going into query, what I can also do is search for a policy. I can either use the guided policies that are available to me, so these are typically the most common ones, or I can actually enter in something through free text, which I will do in this case. What will happen is it will understand the intent, and it will search for the most relevant policy across all of the documentation portals, and in this case, SharePoint libraries, to come back to the user with the most relevant policy, which I can see the link for here. I'll type in another question, just to again validate that it's able to pick up my intent. And using the robot, it will again search the documentation libraries and come back to me with the most relevant policy related to my ask. Going back to the guided menu, one other option we have is to raise an issue. I'm going to say my issue is to do with Outlook, and I'll add a short description. In this case, I'm going to say my emails are not sending. The ticket is created using UiPath, and I'm immediately handed over to an agent. So this is the agent console where I can engage with the user, and I will be able to take that case further. I can send them a pre-configured message. Hello, thank you for waiting. What can I help you with? And then going back to the employee side, anything that I type here will obviously be passed through to the agent to handle that request. I'm just saying here, please help me resolve my issue. And anything I type here as an end user will again be passed over to the agent. Let's say I've been able to resolve this issue now. I can send them a message and then go ahead and disconnect from the conversation, which I've done now. And it will present to me with some options here of extra information that I can add to the ticket of how did I resolve this case. So in this case, I'm saying ticket solved, which will then add to the analytics and go into ServiceNow and close that case. And as an employee, I can rate how comfortable I was with that experience. In this case, I'm going to say 5 out of 5. The last feature that we're going to show you here is if someone types in free text, I have an issue with my network. As before, it will use an unattended robot to raise a ticket in ServiceNow. But in addition, what it will actually also do now is kick off an attended process on my machine, where it will actually run some self-diagnostics directly on the user's machine, so that this can be added to the case with essentially extra logs for an agent to go through and fix to hone in on the issue a lot quicker. If you take this thought a couple of steps further, you could actually start to think about having self-healing processes also created on the user's machine, directly pushed from the orchestrator to the attended robot, And these attended processes can be called automatically from the conversation. So as an end user experience, all I'm doing is typing into my digital assistant that I have an issue. It had self-initiated the self-diagnostics to understand the issue better, added that details into the logs, and it had also triggered self-healing processes to potentially fix the issue on the fly. If it's able to fix the issue, then great. What an amazing end user experience that's been. I've simply just entered in my issue and it's been able to go full through and fix the issue by itself and send me a confirmation that it's been fixed. And if it hasn't been able to fix the issue, then there's much more additional logs that an agent can actually go through when the case is handed over to them to potentially find and hone in on the issue a lot quicker. So this has been our demonstration of the digital assistant for the IT help desk use case. Thank you for watching.